Alright, so the big tag team match involving the Shield and the Rhodes family really lived up to the hype last night, but the WWE Championship ended really weird and bizarre, and I thought that ending killed the pay-per-view event, and you'll see what I mean on this review of WWE Battleground. Hey, what's up and how's it going, everyone? Well, I'm so glad that you have took your time to spend with me right here today on the MRB Wrestling Review Show. I'm your co-host Mike McRock Wilson, and last night WWE presented Battleground. The show kicked off with the kickoff match before the pay-per-view event. It was Damian Sandow going one-on-one with Dolph Ziggler, and as much as I like the concept of a former Money in the Bank winner facing the current Money in the Bank briefcase winner, Dolph Ziggler really shouldn't be on the pre-show match. He should be in one of the main events competing for the World Heavyweight Championship, or should be the champion anyway. So with that being said, that in itself is a letdown. But the match was actually pretty good. It was actually one of the better matches that happened on the card. So with that being said, Damian Sandow and Dolph Ziggler was a good kickoff match to kick off Battleground. The Battleground pay-per-view event itself kicked off with the World Heavyweight Championship. Alberto Del Rio defended his title against Rob Van Dam. And it was just an okay match. RVD had his moments with the ladders and the chairs, etc. But all in all, the stipulation itself really don't help Alberto Del Rio's career in the wrestling aspect, because we don't see his full potential when it comes to his wrestling ability in the ring, because I think he's a great wrestler. Even though he's a one-dimensional character, he is a little stale in some areas. I thought that match itself was a little bit of a letdown. It was okay, but it wasn't all that great. So with that being said, the show kicked off with a little bit of a letdown. The second match on the card was the Great Khali and Santino Marella taking out Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro, the Real Americans, with Zeb Coulter. And I felt this match was actually a little bit of a sleeper. What I really liked was the closing moments when Antonio Cesaro applied that giant Cesaro swing on the Great Khali. I thought that moment really stood out in that match. And with that being said, after this match, Antonio Cesaro should get that push that he deserves and compete for a main championship, whether it's a World Championship or WWE Championship. I'd like to see Antonio Cesaro get that push and probably split up with the Real Americans and let Jack Swagger be on his own with Zeb Coulter, and have Antonio Cesaro compete in a higher level in the WWE. The next match on the card was Curtis Axel versus R-Truth for the Intercontinental Championship, and I like the little things Paul Heyman was doing at ringside, acknowledging that super awesome dropkick Curtis Axel applied to R-Truth. And with that being said, Curtis Axel actually showed some good, moves throughout that match. I thought Curtis Axel looked great. The only thing I really didn't like about this match is that it really just felt like a filler match. And with that being said, it was just a match for Curtis Axel to go over R-Truth, just to defend that Intercontinental Championship. As long as he defends the championship, I'm happy with that. But facing R-Truth really don't help his career in any way. Also, the Divas title was on the line. AJ Lee took on Brie Bella. And there was only a couple little moments where the fans seemed to understand AJ Lee. They kind of got a little bit behind her, but all in all, the fans wanted Brie Bella to win. She's the babyface, AJ's the heel. And with that being said, you had Tamina Snuka in AJ Lee's corner, her bodyguard, costing Brie Bella the match. And with that being said, AJ Lee retains her Divas Championship, and I think that was the right way to go because AJ Lee is the face of the Divas division and should be the Divas champ for quite more some time, and let's just see where it goes from here. I always expected Brie Bella to win that match because I understand that the WWE wanted someone from the Total Divas show to be the WWE Divas champion. So with that being said, it could have went either way, but I'm happy that AJ Lee retained her title because she's the one that's really holding the Divas division right now in the WWE. Also, last night, I thought it was the match of the night. It was Cody Rhodes and Goldust going in a tag team match against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, tag team champs. I like that the tag team titles weren't on the line just yet. And I say just yet because Cody Rhodes and Goldust won the match. And I really love the closing moments where Dusty Rhodes got his bionic elbow in on Dean Ambrose, and then Cody Rhodes, rightfully so, gets the pinfall victory. And before you see Cody Rhodes apply the crossroads, you see the emotion in his face, and I thought that they really said the emotions very well. It was a real roller coaster emotional ride throughout that match, and Goldust never missed a beat, like he did with his match against Randy Orton a couple of weeks ago and last night. Goldust was just tremendous throughout that match. It's like he never went away, and he just felt like a regular going into that match. So with all that being said, I thought that match was excellent. It really brought up the show, but then kind of declined a little bit again because the next match was Bray Wyatt and Kofi Kingston. I thought that moment where Bray Wyatt was that moment where he was crawling like a spider backwards on his hands. I thought that was a nice creepy moment for Bray Wyatt, but overall it was just, a stepping stone for Bray Wyatt, and I think that they should still keep him out of the ring and have the other two guys, do all the heavy lifting and have him cut promos and be the creepy guy. Even though he got that creepy moment in, they really should, let him stay out of the ring for a while. And in the same time, I thought last night with Bray Wyatt, he was actually, a little bit better in his in-ring work, but he could work on it, more. So with all that being said, Bray Wyatt, Kofi Kingston was just an okay match. And, it's just one of those things where it kind of goes weird in the beginning, good in the middle, but then it declines again with that match, as well as the Ryback and CM Punk match. I thought that Ryback wearing that pink shirt he came out with was just weird for Ryback's character because he's a parody of himself, a bully, etc., etc. So yeah, I thought that was a little weird, as well as the finish as well. CM Punk delivering a low blow for the victory, I thought really didn't resonate with me. I don't know about the fans. I can't speak for the fans, but it didn't really do anything for me, that pinfall victory, the low blow, because really what happened was that it was Paul Heyman obsessed with his getting CM Punk what he deserves. and that cost Paul Heyman the match. I like that idea. I don't know if they've done that on purpose or by accident, but that was alright. But overall, I thought the finish of that match was very, very strange, very odd, and the story continues. And I think they really should end this story sooner rather than later, because it's just becoming very stale. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. And, you know, the You Can't Wrestle chance to Ryback also signifies that they really should do something with Ryback as well. So, overall, it was just very weird, as well as the main event. Randy Orton going a one-on-one with Daniel Bryan. What happened was that close to the end, you know, you see Big Show come out and punch Randy Orton. Brad Max is there. He gets Scott Armstrong to go out there and count the 1, 2, 3 because your other referee got knocked out. And the Big Show took him out, got the ring, took out Randy Orton. So it was like a heel turn and then face turn in the same time. And I like how they played on the cliche of, oh, Big Show is going to turn heel. He's going to cost Bryan the match. But then, you know, he punches Randy Orton. And really, it was about Big Show having enough of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon's bullshit. I understand that. I really do. I understand they wanted to have Big Show his moment, but to have him have that moment in the closing minutes of a WWE Championship match, I thought was the wrong way to go, because they really should need a WWE champion going into the next pay-per-view so that someone else could get a rematch. And I thought as well, the match itself was really great. It was looking good. Daniel Bryan was on fire. Randy Orton got his moments in. I thought it was a good back and forth match until when Big Show's music hit. I just threw my hands up in the air and I was like, screwy finish. Yep. And what do you expect? Big Show, screwy finish, knocks out Bryan, knocks out Orton, and the show is left with the Big Show having enough. I also understand, you know, leave the audience wanting for more, letting them tune into Raw on tonight to see what the repercussions will be to the Big Show. I understand why they done it. It's just that having it done where there's a championship on the line, I thought, like I said, was the wrong way to go. And with that being said, I thought that the pay-per-view Battleground was a little bit of a letdown. But, and not only that, the only good match on the show was Goldust and Cody Rhodes versus The Shield. And that's all I gotta say about last night's pay-per-view event. And hey, see, here's the thing. They've done it 3 times to Daniel Bryan. I've had it. I've just had it. And if they do it again, I'm done. I'm just done. And there you have it. That was my review of last night's episode of Battleground, WWE's new pay-per-view. For the MRB Wrestling Review Show, I'm your co-host, Mike McRock Wilson. Get plenty of rest and always do your best.